I'm Colleen Devery. I'm NAF's Chief Strategy Officer. Thanks so much for joining us today for an informative discussion about NAF and the importance of continued momentum in supporting work-based learning opportunities, especially including paid internship experiences for high school students. And we also want to thank the CTE Caucus for working with us on this event. As you may know, NAF is a national network of education, business, and community leaders who work together to ensure that high school students are college, career, and future ready. This past school year, 117,000 students attended NAF Academies across 34 states, DC, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands. Built into the Academy experience are tons of work-based learning engagements with employers that give students firsthand knowledge of the world of work. And NAF Academies typically focus on one of 5 industries: finance, hospitality and tourism, information technology, engineering, and health sciences. NAF Academies fit within and enhance existing school systems, allowing NAF to become an integral part of a plan for future success for young people. So thanks again for joining us today. Now I want to turn it back over to Tiffany, who's going to introduce our panel.
Thanks, Colleen. I'm so excited to have with us an outstanding panel, one of NAF's signatures employer partners from Lenovo, Marche Mansfield. We have 3 outstanding students who, one has had an apprenticeship, one has had an internship, one is at a future at the University of Michigan, Ileana Coronado, Jareth Jackson, and Adarsh Rajgopal, excuse me. We're so excited to have you share your expertise and experience while you've had your NAF internships and apprenticeships. I'm going to kick off the conversation with Marche about our outstanding Lenovo partnership. Marche?
Thanks, Tiffany, and thanks for having me here today. I'm talking about such an incredible topic and something that myself and Lenovo is very passionate about. You know, we started partnering with NAF in 2012, so it's been quite the journey and, you know, quite the experience for Lenovo to be able to interact with nearly, you know, over 6,000 students that come through the NAF Academy. You know, what was really interesting and one, you know, fun part, and in my opinion, something that really accelerated the program was in 2014, the mobile app competition in conjunction with MIT really started and got accelerated. And we're so happy to have Adarsh on here to be talking about some of the brilliant things that he has done. So I won't steal his thunder and I'll let him go through that, but it has been really exciting in the partnership that we have. You know, I mentioned we've been a partner of NAF for the past 9 years. And, you know, the NAF Academy and those 6,000 students across the US have really participated in a lot of different themes, which, you know, as a business professional, I deal with customers every day in the finance, hospitality and tourism, IT, engineering, health sciences, which, you know, in the US specifically are very rapidly growing industries. So the beautiful thing is to be able to educate our students before they go out in the workforce where they're working in these industries is truly invaluable, I think, to them and to us as a corporation. You know, Lenovo truly sees this as an investment in the future. The work-based learning program is really a benefit to both. You know, for the high school students, you know, they get to learn in an environment where they're being taught by professionals. And from Lenovo, we get to learn from these wonderful high school students that have grown up on technology. And, you know, as we're designing products and as we're creating smarter technology for the future, to have their insights is truly invaluable. And then, as you showed, Colleen, earlier, the beautiful part of NAF and the students that we're working with, over 90%, almost 90%, I believe you showed 89%, are from ethnic background or females. So to be able to gain perspectives from different, everyone who's different really matches Lenovo's value and our how we run our culture of our workforce should mirror our customers, which our customers are a beautiful blend of all different types of people from all different places. And so, you know, it's truly been a wonderful partnership. If I look at North Carolina specifically, which I'm in the Raleigh area at our headquarters, so it's near and dear to my heart. We specifically hosted over 140 NAF interns on site in North Carolina. And I know this summer specifically, with COVID, it's virtual, but still we're getting a lot of value. And I think the students are getting a lot of value out of it as well. We're hosting 19 specifically. So I couldn't be more excited about the program. I think there is a huge value, and Lenovo will continue to be a partner with NAF.
Thank you so much, Marche. We are so lucky to have the outstanding partnership that we do with Lenovo. Now, some time to hear from our students, and I'm going to start with Lily. Lily, tell me about yourself, and I understand you had an apprenticeship, so let the panel know where you're from and what your apprenticeship has been.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Ileana, but you can call me Lily. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am participating in an apprenticeship at the Congressional home. It's a nursing home, and I'm currently a CNA there. So it's a certified nursing assistant, so CNA for short. And I do a lot of things there. It's definitely a apprenticeship that keeps you busy. So I basically help the elderly with their daily activities. So things from like bathing, toileting, transferring from place to place around the nursing home. So I decided to do this because I wanted to be a nurse. Well, I still want to be a nurse. So I thought that this would be an amazing experience, to open up my eyes to what nurses do every day. And I do get to work one-on-one with nurses a lot. So like, I know what to expect when I enter the field. And so it's definitely shaped my future plans, because I think it's definitely encouraged me to want to be a nurse more. Like, I see how the nurses help the elderly, and like, especially in my unit, I work with the demented elderly. So they have a lot of dementia, so I love the way that we can help them, with everything that they need help with. So yeah, the apprenticeship has really shaped my future with that.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think kind of really shaped your ideas of being able to build up to this apprenticeship? Were there some other work-based learning experiences that you had?
Yeah, in school, I am part of the NAF science area, health science part. And I know in our classes, I would take a class called CP. And in that class, we would do a lot of like NAF-based things. So we would do things like we would have to like figure out dilemmas like in the healthcare areas. And I think like having NAF as part of our like an option in school, it really helped me, because I know in the beginning, I didn't know if I wanted to go into like healthcare. There were so many other areas, and doing this, being able to like take part of this opportunity, it really like made me settle down and like know that I wanted to be part of the healthcare. So it really helps when it comes to like making these hard decisions in what you're going to do in your future, especially like career wise,
That's fantastic. Sounds like you've had some outstanding experiences.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lily. We look forward to chatting some more. Jareth, who is from our University of Michigan Future Ready Scholars. Tell us about what you're doing and what your experience is right now.
Some of what I am doing would be I'm working on multiple STEM projects through NAV, which allows me to not only like build my professional network, but it allows me to like ask questions hand to hand, as opposed to like Googling, how do I get into architecture? And it's not the same. It's the closest I'll get to in person at the moment because of COVID. But as far as what's going on, it's amazing. Like the program itself, the people behind it, you have scholar mentors who you think would just be like, oh, guys doing this. Like, they're not camp counselors, guys. They love it. They're here to teach what they are passionate about, and they're here to converse with you and help to make sure that you feel as comfortable as possible.
So before you were part of the Future Ready Scholars Program, what were you thinking about college, and what? Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. I'd always had like a want, or rather a knowledge of needing a college degree for my goal, which is to be a biomedical engineer. And NAF definitely helped me to solidify that. So it's no longer like wasn't really a pipe dream, but it's no longer a shot in the dark. I see the target. I know the steps I have to take. And because of NAF, I'm definitely on track to going there. And yeah, I really encourage everyone to try this.
Fantastic. Thank you. We will share more after we chat with Adarsh. Adarsh, hello.
Hi.
Now, tell us, I understand that you were a part of the Lenovo app competition. So we want to hear about that experience and tell us more about your internship.
So hi, my name is Adarsh Rajagopal. I recently graduated from Mallet Creek High School in the Academy of Engineering, and I'm going to be attending NC State in the fall in the engineering program and also in the honors program. So last year, I interned at Bank of America through the Mayor's Youth Employment Program in Charlotte, who basically helped me to secure the internship. And this year, I'm interning in the business and finance pathway through the Mayor's Youth Employment Program. And so basically in my Bank of America program, we were going through and advancing customer service and problem solving, learning about the financial industry and banking products, and also delivering a positive customer experience. And one of my favorite parts of the internship was the speaker series. And basically every once in a while, there would be some speakers who would come in and we would have a Zoom call. And through these speaker series, I learned a whole lot about building my resume, expanding my network, and also about how Bank of America delivers its services to its clients. And this experience helped me to understand, what job skills are required in the real world, something which, I didn't really know much about prior to this internship.
Thank you. So tell us about the Lenovo app competition and how did you do that virtually and I understand there were several team members. Share with us some more about that and what your app was.
Okay, so our Lenovo Scholar Network app journey started in January 2020 when our cybersecurity club team met, and we decided that we wanted to build an app for this 2020 Lenovo Scholar Network app competition. And this was the first time, I believe, for all of us. So we knew we had to apply our app building skills to solve a real world problem. So at first we researched and decided that we wanted to try to find a solution to the pressing issue of password security. As you probably know, at that time, there was tons of cyber hacks and there were people losing access to their accounts because they were having weak passwords. So we thought this was a really good topic. And so when we were planning through that, we decided to play on each other's strengths and we assigned roles and set deadlines, which we eventually met. And so we worked together and we came up with Cryptoshake, which is basically a random password generator. And with this app, you can shake your phone/tablet and create a password. And you can also, when you're creating the password, you can adjust the password length and choose whether you want to use special characters, upper lowercase letters, and even numbers. And so after we created this app, we created our pitch video and we entered it in for the 2020 Lenovo Scholar Network app competition. And we eventually won. But one of the biggest critiques from the judge was that they said, it's great, but it doesn't have a way to save the password. And so instead of creating a completely new app for the next year, we decided as a team that we were going to try to improve our existing one and try to add that temporary password manager. And so basically for this 2021 Lenovo Scholar app competition, we basically employed a similar strategy. And we did have to swap some roles as like 3 members of our team left as they were seniors that year. And so we were still able to work synchronously. And even though like it was mostly online, we had Zoom meetings like every week to make sure everyone was on track. And we always kept encouraging each other. And eventually we were able to create Cryptoshake 2.0, an improved version of our app where not only does it have all the previous stuff, it also can temporarily store that randomly generated password to our database. And you can also save your username and the site name as well. And if you don't think that the password's strong enough, you can actually go on one of 2 websites and actually check the strength. And I believe the last time we checked the strength in our pitch video, it would take about 2 trillion years to hack our password. And we entered this app in for our 2021 Lenovo Scholar Network app competition, and we won. And this time there was really no major criticism.
That's absolutely fantastic. Congratulations. And having a 2.0 version, and no, I mean, my goodness, I'm sure there's quite a few folks that would love to know how you did all that, considering we're still having cyber hacks. That's great. So now we're going to have some time to have a couple of round robin questions. So certainly folks who are joining us, feel free to pop some in the chat. But I would like to start with Marche, and knowing that so many businesses, whenever NAF approaches them, they're like, oh, there's so many barriers to bringing young people into the workplace. What would you say is, are there barriers, and how can you alleviate those barriers? Because we hear the talent that they bring, and what you even said in your opening remarks, the diversity of thought that they're bringing to the table. What barriers would you say for folks that are nervous, if you will, about bringing high school students into their workplace?
Sure. I'm not sure there are a lot of barriers, to be honest with you. I mean, you hear these wonderful students and all of the creativity and experience and what they want to do with their future is exactly, why we do it. And I think Jareth talked about, the one-on-one mentoring and being able to talk to our students about something that we're passionate about, me specifically technology. And at Harsh, I'm so happy to hear you're going through NC State. I'm an NC State alma mater. Go Wolfpack is my alma mater. But look, when you look at it let's look at it from a student's lens for the most part, and what businesses will be providing to these students that you've heard from today. Look, it provides real work-life experiences. You do have to collaborate. You do get feedback if it's not quite exactly at Harsh, the first version, and you have to learn how to take that feedback and go and use it in a productive manner and put something into the market that's really useful, really productive for people who are going to consume your product. I specifically have someone I'm mentoring today, and one of our 19 interns that are in North Carolina, and she feels like, and she absolutely can, ask me questions that she doesn't feel comfortable asking other people about in business settings. How do I respond in this environment? This is what my manager talked to me about. Do you have some advice on, how I should respond to this, how I, can create productive conversations? So it's not just learning about the, how to program or how to do something very technical. It's also about teaching our youth about how to thrive and be very productive, very engaging, very collaborative, which is the new workplace. How do you respond in certain situations? And it's very refreshing for me to see. Look, from a business perspective, getting this insight, I could talk for an hour about that. I mean, they are giving us insight that, quite frankly, their generation, we're craving. We do everything on apps today. And for them to be able to come and teach us something that we may have not thought about is really invaluable. At Lenovo, we give our interns a project that they can complete. And one of our interns group, they built an AI engine to analyze our customer feedback, both good and bad, to see where we're being successful and where we need to improve, from a customer experience standpoint. So from a company standpoint, our customer sat has gone up as a result of it. And we're getting all this valuable data and valuable input while teaching our students what a career in STEM would really look like. So like I said, I could go on for hours, but I can't think of one negative of a company and students having a work-based learning program. It's really fantastic.
And Jareth actually just read my mind. As a follow-up to that, how would you encourage companies to start programs like this? I mean, hearing what you just said there, what the students are teaching you is invaluable. So how can we encourage more employer partners to start doing this? What do you think it takes? Yeah.
Yeah, we have, Libby Richards is on from Lenovo, and we have a community-based leader in Libby. And, I think it starts with having the conversation and talking to other employers, such as myself or other people in the community that are sponsoring students, and having dialogue one-on-one on the benefit of this. You know, getting students interested in, you know, science, technology, engineering, math is incredibly important to our future. Technology is everything today. It touches every single thing in our daily lives, in every business that we work with. So I think it's going to start with educating our business, our peers in our communities on the beautiful benefit of this. I think that's a good place to start.
Awesome, thank you. Jareth, Darsh, and Lily, I'm curious, what for your peers that have not had experiences like this, how would you encourage them to, say, become a part of a NAF Academy, to get a work-based learning experience? What are a couple selling points to your peers to encourage them to start being career ready now?
If no one will go first, I'll take the ball with this one. I would definitely encourage them to, mainly off of, we as this new generation have such competition, because from previous generations, entry-level jobs were often left to the new generation because prior generations were holding the higher levels. We don't have that anymore. So we have to do everything we can to ensure we have a spot, and not just a spot that's for us specifically, because anybody can conform to a rinky-dink company. At the end of the day, it's the company that has to say, we want you to stay on with us. There are plenty of fly-by-night jobs. We're not looking for jobs, looking for careers right out the gate. And NAF is definitely the way to go. Like, you can look out for yourself. You can go to YouTube. You can ask family, friends. But at the end of the day, NAF is a collective network of people who have been in your shoes with a similar mindset, and they are here to help with nothing else.
Love it. Thank you. Especially when you highlighted the early investment. And that's really one of the key points, is why we want the students in the workplace sooner, is they're investing in you too. And as Marche has said, they see their talent pipeline with you guys coming through the doors. So just by us being able to reinforce, and as I said, we'll share this webinar so our business partners really understand what the students bring to the table. Adarsh, Lily, do you have anything to add about encouragement or anecdote from your experience that all students should have?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I would definitely say, I think I would encourage them to definitely start now, because I love that my apprenticeship has like opened my eyes. I feel like there's so many opportunities, like especially career wise, you know, and when you start now or start younger when you're in high school and everything, you know, it becomes easier for you. Like I said, I didn't know that I wanted to be in healthcare, but when I became a CNA, like it really helped me make my mind up. So I think I would definitely encourage all my friends to like partake in something at least that they have in their mind, you know, and so that like they can open their eyes to what they want to do. It really gives you a head start, you know. So yeah.
Thanks. Go ahead, Adarsh.
Yeah, so I would first, when talking to someone, I would first say, you know, when you do an internship, you can first make some money, but also you gain a lot of real world skills that you don't normally gain at school. And specifically in Charlotte, the Mayor's Youth Employment Program here has placed like over 500 youths in summer programs this year and in previous years. So it's a great place for many youths in Charlotte to enroll in and try to see, you know, how the workplace is like. But even if you don't live in Charlotte, there are probably still great opportunities for youths in internship programs. So.
Absolutely. So I just received a question about, are there any challenges for NAF in expanding apprenticeship programs across the country? And if there are, might I be able to speak to any recommendations, interest for funding, technical assistance, et cetera? I would say it really depends based on state by state. For instance, we launched recently in Florida an IT apprenticeship pathway that is, they can pull down funds from the Department of Labor and from Florida Department of Education as well. There's another program going on in DC, an apprenticeship around finance. So it's really just figuring out how our pathway aligns to that. But we certainly encourage in ways to connect to apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships. A lot of our internship programs fall into pre-apprenticeship. So it depends on hours that are required, but it's something, there's a lot of ebbs and flows, if you will, around apprenticeships depending on the state and what the programs look like. But if we can align and make it fit to offer more opportunities to our students and certainly the business, we can. So I hope I answered your question. So any more, please keep them coming. So now that we have, keep the questions coming, please. I'm going to pop it back to our students. Adarsh, I already know that you're heading to NC State and any future plans. Jareth and Lily, share with us your future plans as well. And Adarsh, post-college, would love to hear. I have a feeling you might be going to work for Lenovo, but we'll wait to see what you say.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start off. So right now, my immediate plan is to attend NC State, and I want to receive my undergraduate degree in computer science there. And with the experience I also gained from the cybersecurity club at my high school, I am kind of inclined to pursue a master's in cybersecurity. I don't know if it's going to be at NC State or somewhere else, but even if that doesn't work out, I know that a computer science degree was going to open up many opportunities for me immediately, like finding work at a technology company like Lenovo, to even, pursuing my master's in a different field like economics.
Great. Jareth, Lily, what are your future plans?
I'm going to the Marine Corps, the United States Marine Corps, and
Awesome.
through the officer program, I'll be able to go to college for biomedical engineering.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I'm currently in high school, so I have one more year, senior year. But after senior year, I plan on going to UWM here in Milwaukee. And I want to get my 4-year degree and I want to go to nursing school and get my degree to be a nurse. Then eventually I want to work my way up to being a RN, so a registered nurse. Well, that, and then after that, a nurse practitioner. So I kind of just want to work my way up when it comes to nursing. And yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
Come to the Marine Corps. We'll put you in active duty. You'll get that nursing certificate real quick.
That actually sounds interesting.
You're a recruiter too, Jareth. I love it.
Of course, I got to put people hip to the good ways.
I think I need to hire Jareth in sales. He's on my list.
Absolutely. Students, through obviously everyone has changed the way we learn, the way we connect, kind of this past year of COVID. What experiences, how did that change your learning experience and your work-based learning experience? Kind of, we know like weren't able to go in person and changes. Just give us some feedback around that, because it's one thing that we've heard a lot of. You all were able to adapt much faster than, say, us adults here sitting in our Zoom boxes. So kind of lessons learned and ways to share that, your nimbleness and adaptability from this past year.
I would say that one way that I've learned to adapt really with specifically COVID restrictions was how school went. Initially, I'd always gotten up like 6:30, 7:15 type deal, make sure I got myself breakfast, wash up and everything, and get ready to go to school via the bus, via friend, via mom, whatever it took. I had to get to school. COVID changed that because when you get up at 6:45, you hop in the shower, you go eat breakfast, you're put on your clothes, and then you go, oh, I just gotta get my laptop, and then you troubleshoot getting into Zoom or logging into Teams again or updating your laptop because the night before it wasn't set to do that apparently. And you forget to log time, like going to classes and doing work. So it definitely was an eye changer, or more, I guess, an eye opener rather than changer to how much like you don't pay attention to the monotonous things. And it was definitely worth the experience.
Lily and Darsh, anything to add?
I agree with Jareth. The whole online virtual school, it was hard, staying up, not wanting to crawl back into bed and everything. You definitely have to adapt to your routine, like how you're gonna just create a routine in general, because we didn't have a routine like from home. Like we weren't used to learning from home. So I think we had to really adapt to the whole virtual learning. And even with my apprenticeship, I had to adapt to wearing the masks, and like I have to wear goggles when I'm there, because I work with the elderly. And so there was just a lot of components to adapt to. But I think as time went by, it became easier, and routines were set, and yeah.
Darsh?
Yeah, so I agree with both Lily and Jareth. I think like at first when it came, like it was like because I was just living a normal life, and then all of a sudden just it came. And at that time we were actually creating our app for the Lenovo Scholar 2020 Lenovo Scholar Network app competition. And luckily by the time COVID hit, we were done with all the coding and creating our pitch video. So that went rather flawlessly. But I mean, adapting to school and like virtual school and things, and also having to deal with college applications that same year was definitely tough. And it definitely put us kind of on the back foot for the 2021 Lenovo Scholar Network app competition. But we were able to kind of persevere and, make the most of what we had by trying to set up Zoom calls each week and like trying to see where everyone's progress was. And luckily by I think March, April-ish, like things started opening back up. So we were able to go back in school and film our pitch video. So.
Great. Well, I do have to say that students, you are so truly inspiring, and I'm very excited to share the recording with all of our friends in Congress about the importance of getting access to early career. And I think everyone on here would agree that your generation has taught all of us resilience more than anything, for the way that you had to learn, for the way that you've had to work. We all just had to adapt to working. You had to learn, socialize, everything, and you're just truly amazing. Your experiences that you've brought today to share, from being in college, getting college experience, being a nurse during COVID in high school, are truly, truly incredible. So I just can't thank you enough. And Marche, Lenovo is just such an outstanding partner, and the opportunities that you give NAF students are incredible. And we're just excited to keep building those. I did see Jareth had one quick question. Oh, Jared missed college fairs. Absolutely. We're ready to do that, and we're ready to start doing this in person, where I bring you guys to Washington, D.C., and you're testifying in Congress for me and telling everyone, well, not for me, for the people that are elected, but sharing them about your outstanding NAF experiences. If there's anything else to add, Marche, students?
Yeah, Tiffany, thank you for that. I don't know that I could articulate it any better than these students, but my plea would be, you talked about the resiliency, and to me, this is the next level of learning and what we can do as individuals and corporations to help educate, prepare our next generation of leaders in the workforce on all of the different areas that we talked about earlier. So I'm with you. I plead for the understanding of the value that this program provides to our future students. So thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and sharing. And students, that's for you as well. Thank you for taking time out of your days to share your expertise and experience. And we look forward to sharing more. I know we've captured some great quotes from you all, and we're going to be sharing out and tweeting and stories. So be on the lookout for that. And we will certainly send this recording. With that, is there, Colleen, anything else to close?
No, I think that's it. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone. You'll have a great rest of your afternoon, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.